Hello and welcome to this video series on working with Percona's latest innovation, Percona Everest. Designed as a cloud-native database platform, Percona Everest offers seamless deployment and management of enterprise-grade Postgres, MongoDB, and MySQL database clusters. In the first video of this series, we'll go over creating a Kubernetes cluster on Amazon Elastic Kubernetes Service, EKS. You can use this cluster to explore Percona operators and Percona Everest. To get started, let's check the instructions provided in the Percona Everest documentation. The first requirement is to install AWS CLI on your operating system. I went ahead and installed this already, so I'll quickly confirm in the terminal that everything is set up and ready to go. The second step is to install EKS. Let's go to their website and check the installation instructions for our operating system. I have installed using Brew on macOS. Check in the terminal that the command is available. If you haven't installed kubectl yet, you'll need to do so. In my case, I've installed this a long time ago, so now I'm just checking that it is alive. The fourth step involves configuring the credentials for AWS CLI. Pay close attention to this step, as it has important implications on access rights. The official AWS CLI documentation provides us with many ways to configure credentials. I am going to use environment variables as it is quick and convenient. We need to get the access key ID and secret access key and add them using environment variables. You need a working AWS account and access to the AWS console. I have an AWS console and no clusters. We need to open the IAM section to create the user and credentials for the API. Open the Users section and create a new user or use an existing one. Let's examine the permissions section. We need the minimum permissions to work with EKS. You can see them on the screen. You can create a group and assign permissions using the group. Let's check out the Security Credentials section. We need to create a new access key. We need to select a use case. Let's select Other. Alright, we've created an access key. Now save the secret key to a secure location. Let's return to the Percona Everest documentation. While there are 3 steps outlined for creating a cluster, I'd like to recommend using a specialized service for configuring the cluster. To access it, go to mydbaz.labs.percona.com. I'll also provide the link in the video description for easy access. We've already completed this step, but let's review the instructions about the minimum credentials required for EKS. I'll enter the name of the cluster. Here, I'll specify the instance type. In my case, this is M5, X large. Select a relevant region. For me, this would be London. Click Submit to proceed. We got the configuration and the command to run. Copy the configuration to a new cluster YAML file. Let's check it out. You can specify the storage size. The default is 100 GB. Let's run the cluster creation command from the service. The command should be run in the same directory as the configuration file. And it looks like I got an error. Indeed, I forgot to add environment variables with credentials for the AWS CLI. We generated a key during the fourth step of cluster preparation, and now it's time to put it to use. Let's now add the environment variables and start creating the cluster. I got another error. Looks like I've specified the wrong cluster name because spaces are not allowed. Modify, save, and run it again. The new cluster is underway, which is fantastic. Since it'll take approximately 5 minutes for it to complete, I'll fast forward through this segment of the video. We can monitor the progress of the cluster creation process on the CloudFormation page in the AWS console. On the stack section here, we can check the ongoing process and any related events. If there happens to be an error during the cluster creation process, you'll find it logged here. Alright, our new cluster, complete with the necessary add-ons and configured in the correct location, has been successfully created and is now ready for Everest. I can verify this by running the command kubectl get nodes, which will display the available Kubernetes nodes. Check the status of the cluster in the AWS console. Now we're ready to install Percona Everest or Percona operators. Remember to delete the cluster once you've completed your experiments. We've created a separate video showing how to do this. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next one.